Do you have any bucket places that you want to see or visit in Asia?
Thailand, Singapore.
Cambodia.
Oh, nice.
I wanna see those temples. I wanna go to Angkor Wat so bad.
Oh.
I have to see Angkor Wat. India, China.
Okay.
Those definitely are in my bucket list, top 4 places that I want to see. Hi, I'm Ellen.
Hi, I'm Ely, and this is a podcast with 2 Asian American women.
Living, learning, and sharing about everyday life cross-generationally.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're so happy to have you back.
So, I'm pumped up. Elaine's pumped up. For those of you that don't know, I travel here to do our tapings, an hour and a half, and I put in music. And so, you know, I had my EDM music all the way here, and then as we were coming close to, as I was nearing, it was all the beautiful, or like the really loud pumping, you know, Fine Anthem, you know.
Fine Anthem?
Fine Anthem is one of the songs I like, but like free, like how can anybody not like that song?
That music.
Anyway, so I'm just really...
You're pumped up.
Pumped up.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so pumped up.
Yeah,
Yes.
well that's fun. Well, it's so happy. I'm so happy to see you again too. And I know that last time after the episode, we talked about traveling, and we were both going on vacations.
We're both going on vacations, so we just got back.
Yes.
I'm wearing my Greece. I bought this in Greece.
I love that outfit. I love because the symbols are Greek.
And this is my Greek ode to Greece.
So this time we're really talking about summer travels because we are in that summer heat if you're in the south area, and starting to feel that if you're further up north, or wherever you are. We're just so happy to chat about summer travel because it's a fun thing. We might take little trips, either road trips to somewhere close or somewhere far.
Right. So to start it off, where did you go, Ely? Where did you go?
So we celebrated my birthday. And
happy birthday!
Thank you.
I didn't even know.
It was in April,
Okay.
and so we celebrated my birthday. We went on a European cruise. It started from Barcelona, but we went a couple of days earlier to Madrid.
Oh.
Yeah, which is more inland. And then we took the cruise to Barcelona, went all the way around, I think to 7 different countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then we ended in Norway.
So how long was this trip?
It was about 16 days, something around there. I think maybe more like 18 actually, because we added the 2 extra days in the beginning. So it was a long trip.
Nice.
It was our longest trip that we've ever taken, so we didn't know how we'd fare on the cruise, being that long on a cruise. If you think about it like you're stuck on a cruise, then you're going to feel that way. But it was a great opportunity to just explore all the little countries, and I kind of think of cruises as like a tapas version of traveling, if that makes sense. So you get to see a few different spots. You might not be able to stay long. You might not be able to have a big portion, let's say, but you can see what you like and then reorder it or go back to it if you want to go back. So that's kind of how I look at cruises, because you don't get all of the time in the world. Like if you are staying in a location for a week or 2 weeks, but you get enough to see if you like it.
And then go back.
And then go back if you
really
want to whichever one that you like.
As I was, this is very interesting, but as I was traveling here, or I was driving here, you know, you have all this stuff in your head as you travel, and I'm going, because for those of you out there, again, I'm just getting to know Ely.
Yes.
And the way that we kind of arrange this podcast is we decide, what theme do we want to talk about? And so one of the things we said was travel. So when we do that, then I go into the research mode aspects of things, and I'm like, okay, let me do kind of bullet points of because I don't want to ask her, I don't want to know her answers. We want this to be very kind of natural unfolding in front of and to everybody, and so but I have the bullet points, right? And then a couple of days prior to our taping, I sent it over to her. I said, okay, here are my thoughts. Feel free to add, delete, whatnot. And as I was thinking about it on the way here, I was going, Ely and I are so different. We
are very different. Yes.
Even in the way, because I'm thinking, of course, like I will never cruise. I can never cruise because I'm so motion sick. I'm very, very sensitive. So sensitive that if I'm on a dock, I feel the water slapping on the dock.
Wow.
So a lot of people go, oh, Ellen, the ship is big enough that you...
Yeah.
I can't. So I will never go on a cruise. So when I hear people talk about it, it's very interesting to me because it's
foreign.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, it was really, really fun. We had a great time. This is Georgia, by the way. And one of our favorite stops was probably Belgium. And the weird thing is we went to Bruges, Belgium. And the interesting thing is that it was rainy and we didn't get much time there, which is interesting because I think sometimes if the weather can make you feel a certain way about a city, even though it might be beautiful, but we still, with all of that, it was just so charming. It was just super, super charming. And it's a place that we want to go back to. But overall, it was just a really, really
what were all of the places? Oh, Georgia. Okay. What were all the places? You said Spain.
Yeah.
You said Spain, Belgium.
Yep, Spain, Belgium. We went around to a few different places in Spain, and then we went to... Where did we go? We went to England and Paris, or near Paris. It's called Le Havre. So we just went to a lot of different places around the coast, and then ended in Norway, which was another just gorgeous, gorgeous place. Oh, Amsterdam in between too.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was it was beautiful. I mean, the day we got there, it was the day before King's Day, which is a holiday in Amsterdam where everybody wears orange and they have a party. Like, it's a reason to have a party too, but it's the King's Day. And so everybody travels from everywhere. That day was particularly packed. There's a ton of bikes in Amsterdam if you haven't been, which I didn't know about. Have you been to Amsterdam?
No.
Okay. Yes, ton of bikes. So you have to be really, really careful of, like, if you just turn, there might be a bike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't want to get ran over by a bike, just a regular bicycle.
That's kind of neat. So is the whole city then, and folks from Amsterdam, is the whole city then very natural, energy conscious to really push for
bikes?
Because I know that our last trip last year was Belgium and France. And in France, in Paris, one of the initiatives is to have more walking and biking as opposed to cars.
Yeah.
So that's nice to hear.
Right. We were only there for a few hours, but I think it's been that way for a while because the city has just a ton of it's put on there. I guess I had a treat back there and I didn't realize it. So, but I gave it to her. So, but she's still stiffing. There's a lot of little, kind of it's like a little Venice, basically. There's, I think, 80 different bridges in Amsterdam, which is really makes it super, super charming. And it just allows for a lot of biking there. Just the town, everything's pretty close on bike. But I don't know, as far as energy consciousness goes, I mean, but overall, we would definitely want to go back there too and just explore it a little bit more. What about you? Tell me a little bit more about where you went.
About Greece.
So you went, wait, how long?
We were there about a little bit over 2 weeks, going on the 3 weeks. A little bit over 2 weeks. And I want to give a shout out to Mara and George. Mwah! In Greece. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I know we kissed 3 times in Greece. Absolutely fantastic trip. If it was not for them, George, for all your research, all your hard work on where, we're supposed to go, it was phenomenal. We just went, we flew into Athens, where our friends live. And then, so it was right before Easter. Okay. And one of the things that really captured our interest in visiting there is that, the Greek, really experiencing Greek Orthodox Easter. And our friends' parents live in, or have a home in Trikala. And Trikala is where the floating monasteries are.
Okay.
And so we actually went there, had the Good Friday service in the monastery.
Wow.
And just Theodore, thank you for being able to grab us a spot in that monastery and hold that spots for us so that we can experience the whole service. But we went there, celebrated really the Easter weekend.
Nice.
In Trikala. And for all of you folks out there, when you Google search, what is one of the best times to visit Greece, it's during Greek Orthodox Easter. And then going to Trikala, into one of those, just the monasteries there are phenomenal. They're all on cliffs. And being able to experience that, being able to go in there, and then the Easter celebration on Sunday with, I know there's a lot of you out there that are not meat eaters, but you can't go to Greece and not eat lamb. And so we had the lamb being roasted, and everything was just so nice. And then after that, George and Mara took us all around to, and I can't remember all of the places, but Olympia, Mycenae, I don't know how to say this, but, obviously Olympia is where the first Olympic site was, and then Mycenae is where the original where civilization started. And then just obviously the Acropolis. How could you go to Greece and not visit the Acropolis? But all of those, all the way around, from the charming little quaint seaside villages to the mountain restaurant where we actually got to pick what we wanted to eat, and it just phenomenal. One of the best. Thank you again, George and Mara. Thank you so much, and their families.
That's wonderful
to absolutely host us, and so much love and just open arms. I wish that we can repay that when you come visit us here.
Well, the culture very much in Greece is like that. It's so welcoming. And that's one of the things I noticed too when I went a couple years ago. We went a couple years ago to Greece, is just everybody's welcoming. It doesn't matter if you're really family or not, you're all family. You become family.
Yes.
So I love that cultural aspect. And I think there's so many things that we can all learn from different parts of the country and different cultures, and see what fits us, what we enjoy about them, to pull maybe from the good that we like from each of them.
Yeah. So do you have, going back to your cruise, is there anything any advice for somebody that wants to go on a cruise on that, the Eastern European, Western European the area that you visited? Is there any advice you want to give to somebody that says, I think maybe I want to do a cruise? Why pick that cruise? Because there's so many cruises out there. But why pick that particular one?
That's a good question. It was actually called the Trade Routes of the Middle Ages. So there's a lot of history to it.
Ah, that's nice.
Which was interesting.
Yes. That's what I
would enjoy.
I would enjoy the whole history thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe Ellen will do a cruise one
Well,
day.
I
We'll
can't
see.
do a cruise though, remember?
No, but there's motion, like little
It
wrist
doesn't
things.
work. I've tried the wrist thing. I've tried the scopolamine patches. I've tried press this. None of that.
Okay,
Dramamine.
never mind. You're a land person.
Dramamine. No, not Dramamine. I can't even remember now the medicine that I take. It knocks me out. It knocks me out. But it's my only cure. So even in flying, again, because I have really bad motion sickness, and I take it, it knocks me out, and when I wake up, I'm already at my destination.
That's good, unless you're...
Phenergan, that's it. Phenergan.
Oh,
I
Phenergan.
love that. That's the only thing that can work.
Interesting. Yeah, because I feel then you're going to be too drowsy to actually enjoy it if you have it. But I guess if you're on land, you wouldn't need to take it.
Well, no, I do. I mean, certain things, because even car sick. I mean, any type of where I'm moving.
Yeah.
But I've been taking it so long now, most of my life, that I kind of know how much that I can take. I know how long I will sleep.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of control my dosage.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't talk about
motion
medicine.
sickness. No, we always, I experienced a little bit of that in the really long run. I think it was going up towards the North Sea, and there was a day of sea day, which is all day cruising, and
oh gosh,
I was and then the waves in the choppy waters, in the big waters, were just heavier. So that was that day. But as far as recommendations, I think this was one. It depends on what you like, right? It depends on what everybody likes. So if you like learning about history in different of the port cities and how they got started, it's pretty fascinating, because on the cruise then they have little port talks about it, and they have historians on there.
That's neat.
which they're really, really into what they do. But with historians, for me at least, my husband will stay awake for any of them. But for me, they have to be really animated. They have to have vocal variety and all of that for me to stay engaged with them. And not all historians are like that. So we didn't listen to all of them, but they were all, the ones we did listen to were very, very interesting. I think, you mentioned about people. We traveled with friends of ours, and they were celebrating their 55th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a really big anniversary, and so between our birthdays and their anniversaries, we were all it was kind of just a celebration, and we hadn't taken that long of a trip and hadn't explored that area before. But I think one of the biggest recommendations is to research a little bit. I think when you're on a cruise, at least this time, I had a lot going on beforehand, so I really didn't research as much as I should have. And an example is at Amsterdam, there's only 8 weeks out of the year that there's this at the Keukenhof Gardens, if anybody's ever heard of it. If you like flowers at all, it's 7 acres of tulips.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's the one. Is that the Instagram place?
Maybe.
There's a place in Amsterdam that's all these tulips, and you stand in the middle, and it's like, is that it?
Yes,
okay. Oh, yeah. I want to go there one day. One day.
So it was during that time, but I had no idea until we got there, and then we heard about it, but we didn't have enough time because we already had something scheduled, an excursion scheduled, and then I realized that it was only 8 weeks out of the year. Like, what? I would have changed all my plans, because I'm a big flower person. I love flowers, and I love just nature and scenery. So next time. But what I did do is I looked up, if you're in the United States, if you're joining us from the United States, I was like, well, are there places in America that have these tulips? And so I looked some up.
Is there?
There are. So Washington, California, I think Michigan does it too. And that's what I thought. Do I have to travel all the way across to another country to see something? Because sometimes we want to go to another country, but what we have here is there's so many beautiful things here too.
That is such a great thing to kind of remind us of is that there's a lot of folks out there that say, oh, well, they can easily say that because they have the means to do it. But the thing is that there are so many places around us that we don't know. There's this book, and I mentioned it to you, like Off the Beaten Path. It's one of those books like Off the Beaten Path where, just look through that, borrow in the library, borrow in the library. And the internet now is full. It's probably there, but it tells us of all these places that we can go to that's just in our backyard.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
And as an example, you said Washington. I think maybe, is it Washington, Seattle, the state?
Yeah.
Well, because for those of you that are cherry blossom fans, right? You can get that in DC.
Yeah.
And the folks that are down south that say, well, it's easy for you to say that because in DC, did you know that in Atlanta they have a city there? It's where, and I'm not prepared to say this because it just kind of sprung up on my mind, but Mercer, where Mercer University is, Mercer College, Mercer University, that little town is just full of cherry blossoms.
Is that Macon or no?
Macon. Is it Macon?
Because there's
wherever Mercer is.
I don't know where Mercer is right now, but I know that Macon, Georgia, I believe, has this cherry blossom festival.
Okay, well then maybe that's it, because I'm telling you, you don't need ridiculous amounts to find, where, yes, it's great to travel, but for those that can't, for a lot of folks, maybe, because of ambulatory reasons, and maybe not just financially, but, health-wise, maybe, these are places that you can go to locally. And we say locally because obviously we're here in the United States, but what we would like to hear is, again, as we try to develop our X, Y, and U family out there, our community, please comment. Let us know. Where, I'd love to know from where in the world you are listening to us, or chiming in to us too. So, tell us where you are, aside from what generation are you, but where you're coming from. And then tell us, like, oh, if you come over to the Philippines, for instance, I say Philippines because I'm Filipino, but when you come to the Philippines, visit Palawan because of the underwater caves or something like that. Like, let us know. Let us get to know each other's community.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, because I think that I'd love to hear the little places that we can go to here, but also outside of the Asian countries, whether it's the Philippines or Japan or Taiwan, any of the different countries that there's so many hidden gems. And even here, we'll actually, so traveling doesn't necessarily mean traveling to another Europe, but we also take little road trips over, like weekend road trips. I don't know if you do that.
I do.
Okay.
Well, I'm a realtor, so I kind of have to know these little gems, as part of being able to kind of entice folks to, this is the reason why you want to live in Florida.
Yes.
Just those little off the beaten path places are very important. So to kind of bring us around, where, we talk so much about where we visited, letting you know a little bit about our trips in the U.S., bringing the Asian in us. Do you have any bucket places that you want to see or visit in Asia?
Yes. We'd like to explore Singapore a little bit. Vietnam, I think there's a long list, because every time we go, my husband knows this, but since we've been together, which has probably been about 10 years, 8 to 10 years, we've probably went to Taiwan like 5 times. So every time we go to Asia, we end up going to Taiwan. Even if we're going to Japan, it's so close, it's about 2 hours. Well, we have to stop by Taiwan to see, I still have family out there. We ended up going there, so sometimes Bob's like, can we go somewhere else? But we would like to explore a little bit of Thailand, Singapore. What did I say before? Philippines too. I've heard a lot of great things about the Philippines, so I'll have to ask you if you have explored that a lot.
Well, so yes. Have we explored it a lot? No. Remember, I left there very young, and I've only been there in my adult years twice, only 2 times. So, and 20 years, 20-year gaps.
Wow.
So do I know anything about it? No, except for what I remember from my travels and trips.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's so far. It is. It's so far. It's like almost a 30-hour travel time.
Yeah.
From Florida.
I know.
And so, the world is so, I feel so big to visit.
Yeah.
That I want to see more other places.
Right.
Like, for me, it's definitely Cambodia.
Oh, nice.
I wanna see those temples. I want to go to Angkor Wat so bad.
Oh.
Again, a lot of this because I studied. Architecture. I studied, and I want to see. I have to see Angkor Wat, see the temples, the canals.
Nice.
And then India.
Okay.
Definitely want to see India. I envision the, I say bazaars, but the markets. I mean, I can see the color. Like, when I think India, I can see the colors, the smells.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then China.
Okay.
China, and traveling there in the Xi'an. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Xi'an, to see all of the warriors, and not necessarily just the Great Wall, but I want to see the people because I'm a Chinese drama. I love my Chinese dramas. And the people there, the guys are gorgeous. So for me, I'm like, will I see my gorgeous
That's funny.
Chinese drama actors if I go to China?
Ellen's just going to go there to search for the Chinese drama models. So she's going to be searching for like a few weeks there, and she's not going to be able to see the Great Wall or any other places.
Because I'm just like, my radar. But no, I'm just so glad that my husband is very patient with me.
Right, yeah. So Asia, so those 3 places. Any other places that you'd like to go?
Cambodia, India, Thailand, China. Those are my top 4.
Nice.
Not saying that I want to see more.
Yeah.
But those definitely are in my bucket list, top 4 places that I want to see.
That's great. Well, we had one in common, Thailand.
Yes.
So maybe we can go there together.
And what I want to know for Gen X, are there places that we need to be mindful of because as one gets older, one gets limited, like I mentioned in our last episode about going to Belgium, not Belgium, Mont Saint Michel, where like the climate's up and down.
Yeah.
So y'all tell us, but I definitely, those 4 places.
Yes.
You know what would be so fantastic?
To film an episode
if
there?
Me and you, because it's a shared place.
Yeah.
Why don't we go there, bring our team, which we want to give a shout out.
Yes.
We love our podcast team. Thank you.
We couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much.
So much. We have to.
You know who you are.
We know who you are as you edit and post this out there.
Yes.
Thank you. But that is something to strive for.
We could do that.
Right?
I mean, if we
in order for us to do that, we want
Potentially.
you to, because our social media manager says to us that Ellen, because I'm the one that kind of, Ely is hardly in social media, so Ellen
I'm learning social media.
So I've got to be the push on this, okay? Please give us a like. The likes matter, the subscribes matter, the views matter a lot, okay? But the comments, the engagement, they said is one of the most important things. And goal-wise, we want to develop our family, our community,
Yeah, I think the big thing is the why. Like, why do you want to do this? I think it is to build a community and to make an impact, right? Because the more we engage too, and we can engage with you. We'd love to even bring on maybe a segment about a little time for Q&A. So if you have a question in the comments, please feel free to just put it in there, and we'd love to hear your feedback and what you think of it, because we're just building, and your voice matters.
Your voice really does matter. Like, as you can see, I'm not wearing glasses. I used to wear glasses. I told Marianne, I gotta mention you, one of our subscribers and our viewers. She's like, Ellen,
Marianne,
take out your glasses, because the reflection of the light on your glasses, there's a glare. So I would, even though we view ourselves and we see it, we don't really, I mean, I'm not looking at myself.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So any little comment that you can give us to share with us. Again, we're chatting here,
yes.
And
yes, and we'd love more people to know about it, because that's how we can build even more of a community and make it more of an impact for people to understand more of the Asian culture and connect with each other. I think that's a really big thing for us too, and for you. So thank you so much for watching again.
Yes, and don't forget, please comment, please
Yes.
like and subscribe. My goal, because our social media manager, they never tell us. Every time I ask, what's good? How are we doing? What's good? What are our analytics? And they're always saying, Ellen, just give it time. Just let the channel grow. But with me, I need numbers. I need specific numbers.
And I'm okay with just, going with it.
So I Google searched this, Ely. We need 1,000 subscribers to say that our channel is successful.
Oh.
1,000 subscribers. As of today, before I left home and I checked how many subscribers we had 27, I think.
27, okay.
27,
okay.
Not bad. We've only been 2 weeks out there,
Yes, yeah,
well,
that's
by the
great.
time you get this, it'll be 4 weeks. But, we've only, anyways, help us get to at least 1,000 subscribers, please.
Yes, yeah, please feel free to comment too. Where's a bucket list place that you'd like to go? Are there any places that we should go that you might recommend to?
Yes, please recommend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much again for joining us. We really, really appreciate the support and the love that you've given us so far, too. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
See you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.